Couch Chat! For those of you that have been dating your woman for a while, like you've been beyond the 3-month mark, you're actually boyfriend and girlfriend, and this holiday's coming up, you should already have been planning what you're going to do next week. I'm going to tell you as an older cat, I have made the mistake in the past of thinking, hey, I'm going to wait till February 13th to start trying to plan out Valentine's Day stuff. I can tell you now, you're already losing. Like, if you were to go, for example, like today, as I'm recording this, is the Wednesday before Valentine's Day. If you were to try to look up stuff now, you're going to already start to see reservations for restaurants already booked up at the time you probably want, and or activities that you want to do having already sold out tickets, right? So we're going to assume that you still have a little bit of time, and you may be thinking, okay, but like, what am I going to do? Like, I can just take it to a dinner or do whatever. You could do that. Or if you wanted to maybe up your game a little bit, I highly recommend, this is no joke, going to either Eventbrite or going to Groupon or any one of those services that usually, if you're in a highly populated town, have an abundance of things that they're giving away for coupons or for just to let you know about events that are happening. Go to one of those sites and look up things that are happening and book it. So for example, let's use the Eventbrite, right? If you go to Eventbrite right now, you will be able to see a plethora, mind you, of all the events that are happening specifically on Valentine's Day. Everything from paint nights to, Lord knows. I saw some weird stuff yesterday, like wrestling events. What's it called? Burlesque shows that are happening on Valentine's Day. A lot of paint nights. A lot of other various comedy shows and things that are happening. But you can go in there now, and you will see that they still have tickets available for you to book that stuff. So if you're trying to think out of the box, then go to those places, go to your Eventbrite, go to your Groupons. They will give you some ideas you would not have necessarily thought of. Very important, guys. It's the week before. There are some events that you can go to that'll say like, oh, we're going to have like a 3-course or 5-course meal dinner. Well, if you or your girl have allergies, you want to call the restaurant in advance and say, hey, your menu looks great. Or most places don't even put their menu up. So it's like, hey, I know you guys have a menu happening for this holiday, but like, what's the actual menu? Like, what is on it? I need to make sure that my girl or me are able to eat everything. Or if there's a chance to have any alternatives that you guys can do if you guys know in advance, right? But either way, with Valentine's Day, it is your job as the guy to set up all of the details. Figure out the restaurant you're going to, figure out the activity, figure out how long it's going to take you to get there, figure out what the menu is going to be if you're going to a restaurant, figure out in terms of the activity that you're going to do, what kind of activity is it, what does she need to wear, what does she need to bring if she needs to bring anything, figure out what the kind of crowd's going to be there. Like, this is your chance to shine, guys. If you've been able to make it to where you're at the holiday where you guys are able to spend time together, then you get to now really show out and show that you care. And it's not necessarily about the most expensive thing. I've done Valentine's Days in the past where I didn't spend a whole lot of money, but I made sure I tapped into the things that the woman cared about, whether it was we did some home activity stuff, but like I bought flowers and I bought games they would like to play, or doing stuff out of the house where it's like, oh, she likes this particular artist, she likes this activity, she's always wanted to try this thing. But hopefully at this point, you've been listening to your girl long enough to where you don't need too much of her input in terms of trying to figure out what your Valentine's Day is going to look like. Because if you do, then she's going to start thinking, maybe you don't really care about her. The fact that she's been with you for X amount of time and you don't know her enough to plan something without her having to give you suggestions, that's not a good thing, okay? So that's your job as the guy, to plan some stuff, and it's not hard. It'd be different if like we're in the like 80s or 90s where you couldn't go on the computer and look stuff up. You're the age where you can go on the computer, you can go to Google, you can go to Yahoo, you can go to a bunch of different sites and look up things happening on Valentine's Day in your town. You can look up like different types of restaurants and what they're going to charge you to do for Valentine's Day. It is no longer the world where you can be shocked by, oh my God, I didn't know this was going to cost this much. I didn't know the meal was going to, you should know everything because everything is at your fingertips. I didn't have that as a kid. You guys are fortunate you're growing up in the age where you have internet and you can look this stuff up. So there is no excuse for you not to be able to not plan a good Valentine's Day. Lastly, I'll say this. I just did a video where I was going, this guy named Joker did a video where he was lambasting this woman for the way this guy texted her when trying to ask for a date. Guys, come here. Guys, seriously, like, I need you to be better. I need you to be able to know how to plan a date without having to ask her what she wants or having to pussyfoot around and be like, well, I don't know what she's going to want to do. Like you should know your girl enough to get an idea of what she wants, but also understand that for most women, the holiday is just about going with the flow and having a good time with you. So suppose you don't pick the absolute best restaurant. The fact that you picked one at all, the fact that you spent your brain power thinking of an activity which took the thought process of her having to do it off of her hands is going to be the reward in of itself, okay? But that said, you should really know your girl enough to know, and just in general, what women like on Valentine's Day. They like romance, they like flowers, they like restaurants, they like eating food, they like being able to feel as though their guy actually spent time to think about them versus trying to get them to say some stuff, you know? So this doesn't have to be a hard holiday. Like Valentine's Day should actually be the easiest holiday for you to plan for. It's all about love. Flowers, candy, cards, restaurant. How hard does this have to be? It ain't got to be hard. But again, if you want to stand out and do something a little bit different, you should know your girl enough to know like, hey, she's going to be cool if we like do something alternative. I'd still say throw in a meal. Like, you know, if you say you have an activity like you're doing a paint night or you're doing, you know, burlesque wrestling. Yes, burlesque wrestling is actually a thing that I saw on Eventbrite, right? But even with that, you should still be able to be like, okay, well, before or after that event, we'll get some food. Like, don't take a girl out for Valentine's Day and don't feed her, right? Like, you need to, if you're going to take her out at some point, it's just fair and kind to have dinner both for you and for her so you won't get hungry, right? So planning out the activity. This shouldn't be a hard thing. This should be an easy win. This should set you up to not have to do anything too strenuous relationship-wise for the next 2 months if you play it right, all right? Also, it would also be nice if you like set up for action for later. Like, Valentine's Day is the known holiday for getting hookups. It's really hard to mess that up unless you're just not trying at all. So whether you are getting a hotel room for you guys for the night or whether you're doing stuff at home, set it up. Get some flowers for the bathtub if you got one, or for the bathroom in general. Make it look all pretty and fluffy with candles and flowers and stuff. Make sure that your room is clean and crisp. Cannot stress this enough. Make sure that your place is clean. Make sure it smells nice. Make sure you have the sheets changed and washed. Make sure you've done the best you can, and then set up the atmosphere. Women are about the atmosphere. This holiday is known for women voluntarily sleeping with you. Make it a thing that she doesn't only not regret, but realizes, oh, you actually put effort into making this happen. Yes, you may have banged her 100 different times prior to this holiday, but for Valentine's Day, make it special. If you do this, I promise you guys, you will have an absolutely fantastic Valentine's Day, and she will be extremely grateful both on the day of and long after, all right? And that's what we got going, guys. So thanks for watching this video, and I will catch you guys on the next one. I'm out. Peace.
You's a bad boy, but you can't stop, won't stop. You a high-earning, high-value, high-class man. You a high-earning, high-value, high-class man. You a high-earning, high-value, high-class man. You a high-class man. You a high-class man. You a high-earning,